So I've got like kind of couple of small little tips. One you absolutely shouldn't do, but one you can, so that's fine. Let's start with the one that you absolutely shouldn't do. So there's a little bit of code here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, it's an empty HTML document, and then it has a script tag in there that creates a heading element. It assigns it an ID, assigns it some text, and appends it to the body. If any of that you don't understand, please do come to me in the break. And so you refresh this page. Maybe it's just too quick, because that's cool. Okay, so that's refreshing that, and all it does is it runs this JavaScript and puts that heading on. Something I learnt from one of my colleagues was that if you give an element an ID, it makes it a global variable, which is pretty cool. So you can console log lnug. Lnug is the ID that I've given it, and it logs it out here. So you should definitely never use this, but that's cool, huh? I gather this is like something that I implemented, and then other people just did it to like keep up, I guess, because I is cutting edge. The next thing is something that you can actually use, and I've decided to do this in Node so that Adam is happy, because I keep coming on with like front end stuff. So imagine this is like the entry point of your application. You may do something like this. You have a function, an initialize, and then you call that function. What the more common approach, I think, tends to be is to have something called an immediately invoked function, which is where you wrap this in parentheses. Oh, sorry, let me just show you that works. So it runs it, and it console logs out initialized there. So let me go back. So you can wrap your function in parentheses and then call it there. And let's add another exclamation mark so we know it's the new one. And if you run this, so what it goes through and you declare this function and you immediately call it. It's called an immediately invoked function expression. So that's kind of cool. But something I learned recently is that you don't actually need these brackets here. I mean, you kind of do, but instead of using those brackets, which is weird because you get too many brackets and we don't write closure, right, is that you can do void up here. And I put in a third, did I put in a third thing? No. Put in a third one just so you know it works. So it does exactly the same thing. There's actually no difference, apparently. But I feel like it looks nicer as your like entry point of your file. So that's the thing that I learned. It's maybe useful, maybe not. There's no reason you can't use it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.